And the first time I got nominated, I was like, what? Like, what, huh? And then there's like a pattern happening, because, you know, yeah, to me, like, I never got into artists because of how many Grammys they got into, and I didn't really watch them growing up, so I was never connected to it. But then after, like, you know, aside from people coming to my shows, because in electronic music, you don't really have to sell a lot or be really mainstream or have Grammys. You know, I got into electronic music so I could just DJ, you know, and that was all I needed. And if I got a little bit of streams or whatever, that's cool. But, you know, this past experience, you know, just like thinking about a lot, like, what's the thing in my life that keeps working for me? And as cliche as it might sound, it's just finding happiness in every single moment, or finding joy in every single moment you're creating.
Yeah.
And someone said earlier, it's like protecting your brain, because like we're all talented people, and whether you've been spending 6 months on Ableton or like however many years on Ableton, it's really about your creative process, and that comes from here, your decision, your taste, your feeling. But also one step ahead of that, it's like the main thing I realized, like, that's been benefiting me, and I would like ask you guys to think about, it's like every day when you walk in, before you think about anything else, is like allow yourself to know that you can just channel who you are today. So if you're like a little bit melancholy today, then be melancholy through your music. You don't have to. Today is like not a hit song, and it's like an avant-garde piece, and that's who you are today. Just focus on being that today. The next day is hype, and you're like, I'm lit, and I want to like bring that energy. Be that today. Don't force yourself to like do something that's not natural. And then last thing that I would just give any advice to anybody, it's something that I realized when I talk to a lot of producers. How many people, I have a question, how many people, by raise of hand in this room, bounce everything they make? Okay, how many people in this room? Okay, couple. Bouncing, so like you're making something able to export.
Oh, yeah,
Export,
yeah,
bouncing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So like a lot of artists that I talk to will make something and then they'll abandon an idea and close the project, and it sits in Jumanji. You know what I mean? They call it Jumanji because you have to go back and find your friends inside. You know, it's like we call it that. You know, and one great piece of advice I would give everybody is, no matter what, bounce every idea. Just label it, put it in. You know, if you're, depending on how you're organized, you know, if you have like, you can just call it loose bounces, make a folder where it's like, and close it, and I'm telling you, some of those things you thought were like, whatever, you're in your own head, if you listen with a different perspective, maybe you're with your friend, and you're like, listen back, like, actually that's fire, or maybe the drums I can take out, but that melody is sick, or this thing. So don't let your music get lost in Jumanji. Go find your friends. Like, that's one of the things I'll say. Is like, and also too, no matter, you know, everything's relative, right? But like even the greatest artists that you guys all look up to, love, have days where they don't make their best stuff. 99% of my stuff doesn't come out. It's an exercise. Like, it's like art and music is a language. Like right now we're speaking, not everything has to be something to be sold or this, it's just what we do. So remember, it's just like bounce all your stuff, go back and listen to it. That's one of the most incredible things I think will change a lot of people. And a lot of my friends have told us in the last year even, and it's like so much music has come out of just like not abandoning it and not being self-critical, you know. So that's all I got to say about that.
Jeez.